Have you ever used a digital product that you loved instantly because it felt as if it was made just for you? Perhaps you can relate it to the feeling of getting from point A to point B without ever needing a map. Well, that's how a well-implemented design solution can and should make you feel. My name is Christina Perrell. I'm a senior UX designer at Excella, and today I'm going to discuss how taking a human-centered design approach can help you to satisfy the needs of real people by focusing on end users from the very beginning. Designing with a human-centered approach is a process full of movement, conversation, and meaningful action. Using this approach showcases your commitment to evolve with your customers' needs. It also demonstrates that you're flexible enough to adapt to those needs throughout the development process. At its core, human-centered design is about understanding the people you hope to design for and creating solutions from their perspective. Taking this approach might be just what you need to gain a competitive advantage. Federal agencies and commercial organizations understand the importance of human-centered design, and they're making it a priority. I'm currently working with a federal client to build a tool that is intended to improve a veteran's understanding of the various preferences available to them when looking for work in the federal government. Since this is a tool intended to benefit veterans, our team is making it a priority to incorporate their voices into the design process. Today, we're going to explore the different phases of a human-centered design approach and help you to understand how it can help your organization drive customer loyalty and enhance your digital offering. The first phase of this approach is to empathize with real users. The most critical part of a human-centered design approach is to understand who you are designing for. I find it is imperative to get into the environment where people will be using a potential design solution. Whether you are interviewing, observing, or surveying, it's important to relate to your customers, ask inquisitive questions, and understand the challenges that they may face. The bottom line is that your focus should be on the people who will be engaging with your product or service. When you make this commitment, you begin to uncover how human experiences may be potentially improved. Ultimately, you're going to drive customer loyalty and increase satisfaction. The second phase in this process is clearly defining the challenges. Understanding the challenges that your customers face from various perspectives is essential to a human-centered approach. This brings us back to the importance of empathy. Without a design process rooted in empathy and understanding, it's impossible to define a challenge that's informed with minimal bias. Remember that federal client I mentioned earlier? It would have been easy to assume that veterans know what hiring authorities and preferences are available to them when they're looking for work in the federal government. As we sought to better define our challenge, we found that just the opposite was true. Veterans were not well versed in the hiring authorities available to them. After defining this challenge, we could begin to explore ways to design a system that would do the hard work of determining a veteran's eligibility for them so that the burden would no longer fall on their shoulders. Doing this in the early stages of the design process ensures your team is focusing on what's most important for the user, and it ultimately reduces wasted effort and the need for possible rework in the future. The third phase is to ideate and generate a multitude of possible solutions. As a design expert, I recognize the value in iterating on my ideas, building strong relationships with my clients, and focusing on the end user while we're on that journey to arrive at an optimal solution. As your team looks to explore viable solutions, it's important to be generative and explore many possibilities along the way. Iterative ideation is about encouraging wild ideas as a means of making creative leaps. Those creative leaps will inspire your team to solve design challenges and evolve the way we work by moving beyond those obvious solutions. Ultimately, you will begin to uncover unexpected areas for potential innovation. During this process, it's important to foster a psychologically safe environment where no idea is a bad idea. After generating a multitude of ideas, the fourth phase is to prototype those ideas into action. When most people think of design, they think of highly visual prototypes and elegant interfaces. But when prototyping with a human-centered approach, the focus should be on rapid experimentation at minimal cost. Think pen and paper. The less effort and expense required to produce prototypes, the faster your team can get in front of your audience and test those ideas. The last phase of our human-centered design approach is to test and repeat. Ideas become prototypes, prototypes become solutions, and solutions need evaluation. If you continually reflect on your customers' needs and desires, your insights and ideas will naturally evolve. Get in front of your users frequently to understand where your solutions may need improving. Customer loyalty and an enhanced user experience aren't the only advantages of adopting a human-centered design approach. It will also help your organization save time and money by incorporating research and testing early on, reducing rework and saving development costs along the way. Our teams implemented this human-centered design process when working with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services and its partners to reimagine the immigration experience by building MyUSCIS, a groundbreaking website that changed the face of government IT forever. This site housed a suite of digital products and tools that meet the needs of USCIS's customers when applying for or renewing their immigration benefits. Using this approach, Excella performed ethnographic research to better understand USCIS's customers, resulting in detailed personas and journey maps. Through field visits, the team validated prototypes with real users and held design studios with stakeholders, designers, and developers to quickly drive the minimum viable product. Because we implemented this approach to truly understand our customer and their needs, MyUSCIS has consistently been one of the most visited government websites, receiving approximately 20 million paid views per month. The site has enabled the agency to receive accurate information, leading to a reduction in missed payments from applicants applying for incorrect benefits. Like building any relationship, this is not a linear process. Design is in motion. Embracing human-centered design is meant to be played on repeat. If you commit to the process, you're sure to increase a customer satisfaction by improving the user experience, and you're going to leave them wanting to come back for more. If you'd like to learn more about how Excella takes a human-centered design approach, visit excella.com.